My boyfriend called me from the attic. He wanted to show me something he'd just found. I wish he'd never found it.
The last normal conversation I ever had with my boyfriend lasted less than 5 minutes. "I miss you," Ethan said, smiling into the camera. "Hurry home. I'll be there after finals." I laughed. "What's all that behind you?" He turned his laptop toward the corner of the attic. Dust floated through the beam of a single work light. Old furniture, cracked picture frames, and several cardboard boxes surrounded him. "I was cleaning," he said. "The previous owners left a bunch of junk up here." He dragged an old wooden chest closer to the camera. It was no bigger than a toolbox, wrapped in rusted iron bands. Strange symbols had been carved into the lid. They didn't look like any language I'd ever seen. "There wasn't a key," he said. The lock practically fell apart. Inside lay several odd objects: a tarnished silver pendant, a bundle of black thread tied around tiny bones, a cloth pouch filled with gray ash, and 4 cloudy glass marbles. One of them was darker than the others, almost as if smoke had been trapped inside. "That's creepy," I said. "I know, right?" He picked up the dark marble. The smoke inside moved, not rolled, not shifted. It moved, like something alive. "Ethan." Before I could finish, the marble slipped from his fingers. It struck the wooden floor and exploded into black dust. The light above him flickered. For a second, the entire attic went dark. When the picture returned, Ethan wasn't looking at the screen anymore. He was staring into the far corner of the attic. His face had gone completely pale. "What is it?" I asked. He didn't answer. His lips moved slowly, almost like he was listening to someone whisper. Finally, he spoke, very quietly. "Who are you?" A voice answered. I couldn't understand the words. They sounded distant, like someone speaking through several walls. "Ethan." He looked back at me, except it didn't feel like he was looking at me. His expression was empty, cold. "I have to go." The call ended. I texted him immediately. No reply. I called straight to voicemail. The next morning, he finally answered.
"I'm Busse."
His voice sounded exhausted. "You scared me."
"I'm fine."
Click. He hung up. Over the next 3 days, every message I sent was ignored. That wasn't Ethan. He hated leaving messages unanswered, especially mine. Something had changed the moment that marble shattered. And deep down, I already knew it had never been an ordinary piece of glass. By the 4th day, I couldn't sit still anymore. Ethan's younger sister, Claire, agreed to drive past his house after work. She called me 20 minutes later. "I saw him. Is he okay?" A long silence followed. "I don't know." "What do you mean?" "He opened the door, but he just stood there." "Did he say anything?" "He looked right through me, like he didn't even know who I was." My stomach dropped. "I'm flying home tomorrow." The house felt different the moment I stepped inside. It wasn't colder. It wasn't darker. It was quieter. Too quiet. Even the old wooden floor refused to creak. "Ethan?" No answer. I found him sitting alone in the living room. The television was off. The lights were off. He was simply staring toward the hallway. "Ethan." He turned slowly. Dark circles hung beneath his eyes. His face looked thinner, like he hadn't slept in days. "You shouldn't be here," he whispered. I rushed over and hugged him. His body felt ice cold. "What happened in the attic?" His eyes flicked toward the ceiling. "It came out." My heart skipped. "What came out?" He didn't answer. Instead, he looked over my shoulder, at someone standing behind me. There was nobody there. When I turned back, he was still staring. Not at me, past me. That night, I waited until he finally fell asleep on the couch. Then I climbed into the attic alone. The broken wooden chest still sat beneath the hanging light. The shattered black marble was gone. Only a circle of dark dust remained on the floor. Beside it lay a folded piece of paper. I was certain it hadn't been there during the video call. Contained only one sentence. A door opened because someone looked inside. A soft knock echoed above me. Not below, above. There was no floor above the attic. Only the roof. Another knock. 3 slow taps. Someone, or something, was walking across the ceiling. I ran downstairs. Ethan was standing in the hallway, wide awake. He smiled. It wasn't his smile. "You found the note." His voice sounded wrong. 2 voices speaking together. One belonged to Ethan. The other didn't belong to anyone human. The lights flickered. Every window in the house rattled at once. Then I remembered something my grandmother used to tell me. When you don't understand what's speaking to you, don't answer. I grabbed Ethan's hand, closed my eyes, and stayed completely silent. The second voice kept whispering, growing louder, angrier. The house shook. Glass shattered somewhere upstairs. But I never answered. Not one word. Suddenly, everything stopped. When I opened my eyes, Ethan collapsed into my arms. He looked confused. "Tara." His own voice. Only his voice. What happened? I looked toward the staircase. The attic door had slowly swung shut by itself. From the other side, 3 quiet knocks answered. I sold the house 6 months later. The new owners asked if there was anything unusual they should know. I almost told them. Instead, I simply said, "Whatever you find in the attic, leave it there." Sometimes I still wake up at exactly 3:13 a.m., always to the same sound. 3 slow knocks, directly above my bedroom ceiling.